Uncle Sweetshare. Every place has their crazy, and I just met it. We had dreamers in Vardenfell, so I cannot be too hard on these Nords, even though I'm just itching to speak ill of them for one reason or another. I'll hold my tongue in their presence, though. It is the respectful thing to do, at least. And I believe all people deserve at least that. Like I said, Uncle Sweetshare will most likely die from an overdose of the stuff he's crazy about. I guess he got addicted to moon sugar or the refined skooma you make from it and lost his mind. But if I hear that people are being poisoned by that stuff again, I will return and kill him. There's a lot of exploring left for me to do on Solstheim, especially here in Skaal Village. I'll have to get to know these people, especially if they are tribal, like the Ashlanders of my people. They don't seem to be welcoming to Outlanders in their different ways. The leader of Thirsk has already said that he doesn't like the Imperials, and he's lumped me in with them. Typical and ignorant of them, and I'm not even just talking about Nords, but all tribals. They always believe that their ways are the right ones, and everyone else is wrong. The more learned and traveled, the better one has a more worldly outlook, and the more understanding of others they will be. In my case, I've learned not to like the beast races, and Nords. People are different everywhere you go, even within your own kind. I may not like Nords, but at least I'm attempting to understand them. Now that's much more than what they're doing with the Imperials. Oh, this fire is nice. Oh, they're cooking meat on there too. That's what... It smells something burning. Some kind of nice meat smell. Whoa! You know, I'm very glad that you guys don't seem to have cliff racers here. I definitely do not miss those things. Hello. What is it you ask of this skull? What can you tell me about the creatures here? What is a Grawl? I've heard them called that. We do not know what they really are. Perhaps an evil spirit? Perhaps a great beast? Whatever they are dangerous. Their claws and tusks rend armor and tear flesh. They will attack alone or in packs. Take care when they're near. Oh. What about the Horkers? Another of the All-Maker's wondrous creations. These creatures provide a great deal for our people. They are strong swimmers and fierce fighters, on land and in the sea. Interesting. I suppose Lake Fjelding has some kind of spiritual significance to you, too. The lake is the largest on Solstheim. It is often used as a mating ground for the Horkers of this island. Yeah, I saw lots of them there. What can you tell me about these Reeklings? Foul creatures. Some call them the Falmer, claim they are related to the other elves. This I do not know, but they are vile. Some are intelligent enough to speak, but they speak only nonsense. Huh. I don't think that they're Falmer. A telltale sign of being Myrrh is the ears. I didn't really look at them, their ears, when I killed them, but, next time. What can you tell me about the Spriggans? The tree spirits of this land. When the All-Makers breathed life into the creatures of this land, his breath blew through the trees as well. Some of these trees kept a part of his life, and these are the Spriggans you see today. What about the tusked bristleback? The tusked bristleback is a mystery to us. It is a natural being, created by the All-Maker, but it is a cruel and vicious animal. The Reeklings use them as mounts, and have bred the creatures to be even more warlike and dangerous. You heard any latest rumors? Wolves are fine creatures, but some can be diseased, and they become a danger to us all. I've run into a bunch of them, actually. I suppose you guys don't like the Fort Frostmoth? I know of the place, filled with Imperials who have no respect for this place. Shaman. Where would a shaman reside? That kind of, maybe, would be the shaman's hut? That symbol up top? There's no one here. Nice and spacious. But, like I said, they're all burning wood. They chop down trees as well. They're talking about respect the balance of the oneness or whatever it is. So that would seem to be the blacksmith. Maybe this is the shaman's house. Interesting art that they have. It's not a bad place. I don't feel unwanted here, but I don't feel particularly welcome. Oh. No shoes. Hello? What is it you ask of this skull? Oh, she says her name is Reese Icebane. I'm looking for... is it Korst Windeye? He is the shaman in our village, and his wisdom is unparalleled. You will usually find him in the shaman's hut, though he often wanders our lands on his own business. If you have any questions, Windeye would be a good counsel. Okay?
That's how I like it, bold and direct. Come, I like you.
I don't see any symbols that designate a shaman. There's just... I mean, these could be it. This is interesting.
My son, my poor son. Please help a sad old man.
What about your son? Timval, is that you, son? Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive the ramblings brought on by an old man's anguish. What happened to your son? My son, Timval, was getting water and fell into our well. I am so lonely without him. Ever since his mother passed, Timval has been my only companion. The pool beneath the well leads to a series of ice caves known as Rimhole, so my boy may still be alive, but I'm too frail to search the caves, and everyone else in the village is convinced Timval is already dead. I must know if he still lives. Please, Dark Elf, will you enter Rimhole and learn the fate of my son? I'll help you. What's your name? Lasner? It's possible Timval still lives. You will help me? Oh, thank you, Dark Elf. Since my son fell into our well, I have kept it locked to avoid any more unfortunate accidents. Here's the key. The well is out back. The waters of the well lead to Rimhole, but there is said to be another, more direct entrance to the ice caves, somewhere outside the village. I know not where such an entrance may be, though it's probably hidden somewhere nearby. Now hurry. Return when you have news of my son. That's not really something that you can just leave. You gotta... It's kind of an emergency. Now he's put that on me. Well, it's pretty far, actually. Didn't expect to go diving into a well looking for some Nord. Reekling. Oh. Hope I'm not getting sick. I said I can't get disease, but it doesn't mean that I can't get sick with something. That actually hurt. I gotta remember I'm not wearing the armor I used to. Okay. Well, it's probably going to be full of water, knowing this place. Let's see. Water breathing. Let's go down there. Oh. I don't know if his son would have survived these things. It's cold in here. Especially after getting wet. I'm gonna need a fire soon. Nordic mail, huh? Traditional garb of the Skaal. Honor guard. Nordic mail. Boots. Boots consist of a protective steel outer plating and leather worn underneath, with thick metallic rings sewn adjacent from one another onto it. Exceptionally protective, but less durable and enchantable than other armor sets. Take these hammers. Watch I don't go over my limit. potions. None of them are of good quality. The sword only keeps warm. It doesn't keep me warm. It's not cold, though. It never gets cold. But it only warms you up when you get slashed with it. And I don't want to do that to myself, so... Otherwise, I'd be on fire. I can put it over my hand, but it doesn't warm it. Oh. This probably is his boy. Is there anything to... Quality restore health. There's nothing, there's no notes, there's a ring. Maybe this was his. I'll just take it just in case. Maybe it was his boy's. What is that, a Frice hag? Or is it a good old-fashioned necromancer? One that I've killed many a times. You wouldn't be his boy, would you? Hello? Intruder! Who dares venture so deeply into the halls of Rimhall? The matter of woe is mine, do you hear? I have claimed the robe and his power. Matter of woe. Behold the vestments I now wear. When I read the old stories, I had to learn the truth. Could it be that an item of such grand magicka lies so close at hand in the caves beneath my very village? I could contain my eagerness no longer, and jumped into the well. I braved Rimhall's dangers, and at last my efforts were rewarded. Soon the dead shall walk, and Timval, the Dark, shall lead them. You lost your mind. I've been sent by your father. Take off that robe and end this madness. Your father loves you, Timval, and only wants you to be happy. Father? My father? Could it be that he still holds me dear to his heart? I only wanted to study magic, free from the laws of the skull. Necromancy was quick and easy. The power it offers is so overwhelming. Here, take the Mantle of Woe. Destroy it. I have brought shame to my father. I will leave Solstheim. I will find a place to study magicka, true magicka. Tell my father his love has saved me. I will return to him someday, when I can truly make him proud. I think he wants to see you right now. It's a better outcome than I had thought. Father's love saved him. What is about these robes? Mantle of Woe. Robes discovered by the aspiring necromancer Timval in the ice cavern of Rimhall beneath Skaal Village on the island of Solstheim. Well, maybe I'll get a good price for it. I don't care to put that on if it drove him mad, or more mad. I need a fire. I don't know how the Nords do it. Oh. Here comes a Reekling. Oh, they do have pointed ears. But then so do goblins. I've killed a few. What a waste.
You will die, you stand.
Exclusive. Oh, fortify strength. Yeah, probably don't need that. She does have some Sujana, though. Ah. I can feel that warming me up. Oh. There's a Reekling without a mount. I might just jump on that boar right next to it, though. So I assume uphill is where I need to be. Let's return to that father. Still haven't found the shaman. I assume this last building, then. Now let's return to the father.
Hey, care to talk? You're a welcome break from the locals.
Okay. Oh, yes, Dark Elf? I'm sorry, I was just thinking of my boy, Timval. I know you're still in anguish, and this might not make you feel much better, but hopefully it will help. Please, Dark Elf, what news of my son, Timval? Timval lives. He's given up his study of the dark arts, and is leaving Solstheim to study legitimate magicka. He said he will return someday and make you proud. I knew he was alive. Oh, thank you, Snail. Although I hate to see him leave, I know Timval will return someday and bring pride and honor to our family. I don't have much to offer as a reward, but I want you to have these. They are the pelts of a snow bear I killed many years ago. Brynjolfur at Thirst can forge them into a special armor for you. Thanks again, kind Sunil. Ah, 5 snow bear pelts. Well, that helps. Though this is all getting a little bit heavy. Maybe... No, I think that's the Great Hall. Hello? Greetings to you, Wanderer. Why have you come to our village? There's been an attack on the Imperial fort by wolf-like creatures, but they weren't wolves. I can tell you no more about this. If there is information, Heart-Fang will have it. I'm sorry, I can do no more. He didn't want to talk about it. So you are definitely Course Windeye. I am Course Windeye. How may I help you? Well, Heart-Fang has sent me to restore the power of the skull. Heart-Fang wishes for you to do this, does he? Then I will assist you. There is a ritual that must be completed. On Solstheim, you will find 6 standing stones, each representing one of the 6 gifts of the All-Maker. At each of these stones, a ritual must be completed. Once the ritual of the gifts is complete, the oneness should be restored. What ritual do I have to do? It would be too much for any knot of the skull to remember. Here, take this. It will explain the rituals and guide you on your way. This book may be of some use to you as well. If you are to remain with the skull, you should understand our beliefs. Actually, okay. Maybe I should read about this skull. Where is Magnus? Right above me. Okay. Let's read about these skull people. I didn't read this stock certificate that I was given. This certifies that Sunil Relvain is the owner of 100 fully paid and non-accessible shares of the par value of 1 septim each of the common stock of the Raven Rock Division of the East Empire Company, hereafter referred to as the Company. Transferable on the books of the Company by the holder himself, in person, or by duly authorized representative of the holder upon surrender of this certificate properly endorsed. It's just legal talk that the Imperials love to deal with. This certificate and the shares represented hereby are issued and shall be held subject to all provisions of the Articles of Incorporation and of the bylaws of the Company, copies of which are on file at the Company's main office. To all which by acceptance the holder hereof assents, this certificate is not valid unless undersigned by the transfer agent and registered by the registrar, in witness whereof the Company has caused this certificate to be executed by the facsimile signatures of its duly authorized officers and a facsimile of its corporate seal to be printed hereon. Carnius Magius. He's the head of the East Empire Company here in Solstheim. Okay, so find the book. Locations of the stones. Maybe that'll help. Oh, look at this. So I was at the Sunstone. I remember that symbol on it. Well, the Beast Stone should be somewhere close to the south, and the Windstone to the west. Huh. I could do that easily enough. I guess that's my next task, but I should return to the fort. After I get these two stones nearby, maybe I'll return to the fort, and then go after the other stones after that. But I have to go talk to Severia, whatever her name is. Tell her about Uncle Sweet Share, whatever his name. Thirska history. Fairly lengthy. I guess I've got some reading to do. Let's start with this. Thirska history by Berdit Jasto? That sounds Breton. On the eastern bank of Lake Fjelding stands Thirsk, a grand mead hall that serves as a home and center of operations for a most valiant clan of Nord warriors. Approximately 100 years ago, a small group of Skaal decided to leave the main village and free themselves of their brethren's strict adherence to nature worship. So that's what they're talking about, the difference. They sought to live life as their ancestors had in Skyrim, free to kill what they wanted when they wanted, free to worship in any manner they chose. The group braved the harsh weather and traveled south towards Lake Fjelding, where they found the perfect location for a new settlement. There they decided to construct a grand mead hall that would serve as their new home and hunting lodge. After several months of building, the companions had completed the task and named the mead hall Thirsk. The settlers looked upon all they had accomplished and were truly proud of their accomplishment, but their happiness was short-lived, and the settlers soon learned that not everyone celebrated the construction of Thirsk. As the mead hall was being erected, so too was the noise and commotion of construction, disturbing an ancient creature that lay dormant under the ice. Must be under Lake Fjelding, then. It was a tragic twist of irony, therefore, that as the last beam of the great hall was nailed in place, the slumbering beast did finally awaken. His ancient name was the Udiferite, though the settlers knew him only as Death. The Udiferite came to the newly completed mead hall and wreaked vengeance upon those who had shattered the peace of his long, cold sleep. He killed without warning, without mercy, reducing the Thirsk Nords to half their number. It was the valiant sorcerer Eldred Icelight who finally drove the beast back to his lair beneath the frozen lake, and used his magicka to seal the entrance with a great wall of ice. The horror was over, but the price was great. It took the settlers 2 months to fix the damage done by the Udiferite, and with so many strong hands now gone, it was slow and tedious work. Did you say 100 years ago? Well, Nords don't tend to live that long. But then Tiber Septim was said to live to be, what, 130, 140, 150 years? Something like that. Let's read on. Finally, Thirsk stood tall and proud once more. But even though the settlers had worked together to construct the mead hall and drive away the threat of the Udiferite, tensions quickly grew over who would serve as their leader. Most of the men considered Hrothmund the Red their de facto chieftain, as he was the strongest and most capable of the lot, but one warrior, Drengr Bronzehelm, disagreed. He thought himself most capable to rule over Thirsk and loudly voiced his opposition to Hrothmund, knowing that conflict and discord would only serve to destroy the new life they had worked so hard to create. Hrothmund the Red exercised his only true option. He swung his great axe and beheaded Drengr Bronzehelm where he stood. The Nords appreciated more than anything a warrior's prowess in battle, and Drengr's slaying proved to them that Hrothmund was indeed most worthy to be Thirsk's chieftain, so that the other Nords would never forget he had proven his right to lead. Hrothmund placed Drengr's head on a pedestal in the center of Thirsk's main hall for all to see. That would explain the skull. And so began Thirsk's most time-honored tradition. Any warrior, regardless of race or sex, could claim leadership of the mead hall by displaying the most impressive battle trophy on the great hall's pedestal. So long as the spirit of Hrothmund the Red consented, that warrior would be named chieftain, Hrothmund's Bane. For 21 years, Hrothmund the Red ruled over Thirsk and its residents as chieftain. With his soft voice and great axe, which was said to be the largest weapon of its kind ever wielded by a Nord, Hrothmund brought peace and prosperity to Thirsk. But peace proved to be Hrothmund's undoing, for the mighty Nord grew restless in the warmth and safety of the mead hall. He longed for battle and adventure, to feel the frost in his veins once more, and could ignore the call of valor no longer. When the word spread of a giant bloodthirsty white wolf terrorizing travelers in the Mosring Mountains, that's to the northwest of the island, Hrothmund took up his great axe and set out to defeat the beast alone. The men of the mountains named him Onjage, the fell wolf. The beast measured as large as an ox, with fur as white as new-fallen snow, and it was said no man or woman alive could bring Onjage down. The words of the mountain folk proved true, for while Hrothmund did hew one leg from the fell wolf, Onjage devoured the mighty Nord whole, leaving only his great axe as a grim reminder of man's failure against beast. Filled with sorrow and rage, to the residents of Thirsk marched to the mountains in search of the wolf, called by them Hrothmund's bane. Only together did they manage to slay Onjage, and as family they feasted on his roasted flesh. After he ate their chieftain, huh? The following is a list of Thirsk's chieftains since Hrothmund's first ruled. Hrothmund the Red, Nord male, slew Drengr Bronzehelm and presented his head as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 21 years, slain and devoured by Onjage, the fell wolf. Iskerer Whitewave, Nord female, slew the necromancer, Hildir Wormheart, and presented his heart as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 4 years. Einar, Nord male, slew the frost giant Guolog, and presented his foot as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 6 years. Gizzo Roundgut, the Nord male, slew Einar, presented his sword as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 2 months. Einar the Younger, Nord male, slew Gissel Roundgut and presented his stomach as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 7 years. Grotgarar, Nord male, slew the White Witch Katla and presented her staff as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 2 years. Amelie Bonteque, Breton female, that's interesting. It's the first time the line from Nords has been broken. Slew Grotgarar and presented his head as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 3 years. Thormer, Stormkiller, Nord male, slew the brothers Annie and Ali and presented their enchanted hammers as battle trophies, ruled over Thirsk for 16 years. Igilif, Nord female, slew Odini the Unfaithful and presented her hand as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 8 years. Okay, she must have been a mighty foe. Well, it just says she was unfaithful. Maybe that's a huge crime here to the Skull, and I guess to the Nords at Thirsk. Cachino Aurelia, Imperial male, slew the Imperial hero Claudius Anzion and presented his sword as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 3 weeks. Fraud. Eljar Bearskinner, Nord male, slew the Imperial fraud Cachino Aurelia and presented his tongue as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 5 years. Falki the Fat, Nord male, slew a pack of 6 rabid wolves and presented their claws as battle trophies, ruled over Thirsk for 3 months, succumbed to madness and death as a result of rabies. Svanna the Knife, Nord female, slew Greta Wolfchild and presented her sword as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 4 years. Beinar Whitebeard, Nord male, slew 3 orc raiders and presented their eyes as battle trophies, ruled over Thirsk for 22 years. Skuldur Wolf Runner, Nord male, slew the wizard Gris the Yellow and presented his head as a battle trophy, ruled over Thirsk for 3 years, thus far, and still chieftain as of the writing of this work. Expansion. The Thirsk Mead Hall is nearly the same today as it was over 100 years ago, a testament to the quality of its construction. But while Thirsk itself did not grow, its inhabitants did, and before long, the Grand Mead Hall could not house all who wished to dwell within. So over the years, many Nords have left Thirsk to establish their own private dwellings out in the wilderness of Solstheim, relying on the island's many caves and natural shelters, but those who left are always welcome back at Thirsk, and many return frequently to enjoy the Mead Hall's hospitalities. It is also important to note that although over 100 years have passed since the group first left the Skaal Village, the Skaal and Thirsk Nords have always remained civil to one another, and even trade resources on occasion. Relationship with the Empire. Throughout the years, the Thirsk Nords and the Empire have entered into a simple but effective relationship. They leave each other alone, and everyone is happy. Soon after arriving on Solstheim, the Imperials realized that their authority on the island was limited to Fort Frostmoth and vicinity. Solstheim is, and probably always will be, a savage and frozen wasteland, more suited to ancient Nord custom than conventional Imperial law. As long as the residents of Thirsk leave Fort Frostmoth in peace, the Imperials at Fort Frostmoth will reciprocate. In fact, the relationship between the two locations is fairly civil, and the Thirsk Nords gained considerable favor with the Empire when they delivered the Breton fugitive, Elaine Montrose. Oh, the same name as the woman I loved 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, to the garrison at Fort Frostmoth, after he attempted to hide out in Thirsk. I'll never forget about Bethany, even though I love Shani now. Law and order within Thirsk. Within the mead hall, the chieftain serves as judge, jury, and executioner if necessary. The reality is that Thirsk has always been a fairly peaceful place, with camaraderie and goodwill the norm. Solstheim can be a harsh home, and the Nords of Thirsk have long realized that fighting each other isn't nearly as productive as battling the island's bears, wolves, draugrs, reeklings, and whatever other fell creatures may roam the land. Still, there is the occasional disagreement, which more often than not ends in bloodshed, and every few years someone gets it into his head to challenge the chieftain to a bloody duel to try to gain possession of Thirsk. Generally speaking, the Nords of Thirsk are one big, happy barbarian-like family, and like any family, they have their squabbles. So no mention of werewolves. Well, that's one book. What's the other one? The Story of Avar Stonesinger? It's just a long scroll. Well, I'll read it.